Hi everyone. I just wanted to take a moment to talk about a topic that's been very heavy on my heart for many years, and it's something that the more I talk to people about, the more I realize that a lot of us suffer in silence in dealing with it. And so that topic is infertility. I know there's probably many of you out there that struggle with infertility and trying to conceive a child. And this is something that I had to deal with very early on in my marriage. We had a suspicion that something was not right, and so I went to see an infertility specialist, did some testing, and found out that I was the cause and that there was some very personal issues that were going to make it impossible for myself to have a child. So when I first went to my very first doctor, to a urologist, after seeing my lab results, he told me, "You'll never have your own child." And some of you may have heard those words before in your own life, and some of you may have not, but that was the most earth-shattering and most vulnerable I've ever felt in my entire life. I mean, that ultimately was the number one thing I wanted out of my life, was to be a father, and to be told that that was not a possibility was heartbreaking, to say the very least. So I begged and pleaded that doctor for some other specialist that might have a different view of this, that might be able to at least try something. Let's throw a Hail Mary and let's figure out what we need to do. And he told me, it's not going to work, but here's a doctor that you could go talk to that deals more intimately with this subject. So I went to talk to that doctor, and the first thing he told me was, "I'll get you a child." And so through that process, I was put on multiple different medications, including injections of HCG, to try to get everything working the way that it should. These medications were very severe and ultimately resulted in pounding headaches constantly, including during my fire academy. Ultimately, it was worth it, because shortly after my fire academy, the test results came back, and they weren't great, but they were better. We were trending upwards. And so we had a lot of hope, although we thought that we were far from out of that struggle. About 2 weeks post those test results, and thinking we were at least at bare minimum 6 months from being able to have a child, we found out that Devin was pregnant and got the greatest gift that life has to offer, our Addison Grace. And so through that process, grace and the grace of God became something that's incredibly important to me. And so I'll have another video that talks about just how much grace was put on my heart during Devin's pregnancy, through the childbirth, and here on out. But due to that, due to God's grace and giving us this child after we were told it was impossible, we named Addison, her middle name, Grace. So something I've wanted to do with my real estate business, and this is kind of a segue into it, is do video testimonials about the power of the grace of God and the power of real estate. A lot of people get into real estate for many different reasons, but for me, it was the ability to serve in a new capacity that goes beyond my capacity as a firefighter paramedic. As a realtor, I'm able to create livelihood for people and help their dreams come true. There's many different things that real estate is to people. It's not just a home, it's part of their story. It's part of a new chapter that they're opening in their life, a new commitment to their partner. It's many different things. And so I'm incredibly excited that I am in a position where I'm able to provide for that. So with wanting to do these testimonials, God put it on my heart to name my company, my segment, Grace Property Productions. So watch out for a lot of those videos to come out. And I would encourage anybody who's got a great real estate story that wants to be told to reach out. I would love to talk about it. And I would love to talk about topics like infertility and a lot of these difficult subjects that people just don't talk about. So there's a lot more to come. Watch for that video of what grace meant as far as our pregnancy and Addison's entering into this world. I'm really excited to start this segment, and I hope that many of you will reach out and have great stories that we can talk about that will show hope towards those that have this dream or have dreams that real estate really impacts. And like I said, if you're struggling with infertility, this is a silent topic that nobody talks about, but so many people are dealing with. And so I think it's it's a tragedy that we don't talk about it more, that we don't normalize it. So in closing, I want to normalize infertility, and I want to be a resource for anybody that's struggling with this, because the most earth-shattering day of my life is something that really still hits very hard. But knowing that I was able to overcome that through the grace of God is just the most incredible thing. And so I want to spread that hope. So feel free to reach out